is beginning to win. You are working hard to reach your goals. And I know that the East Africans are headed for their convention pretty soon. I want to wish you all the best, and I hope that you enjoy yourself very much and are safe on your way there and also as you return home. Thank you very much. Let me hand you over to Pascal, who is going to be ready to take you through your next session.
Yes, thank you very much, Betty. In fact, Betty has mentioned about the convention which is coming. Oh, Malik from West Nigeria is saying West Africa is heading for their convention on the 21st of October.
Ooh, okay,
so all the regions, 14th was Southern Africa, 21st is going to be West Africa, and then the 28th is going to be East Africa. So
best wishes, everybody.
Best wishes for all of you. Make sure you go with as many of your distributors as possible, because excuse me, the conventions is where people actually make decisions to take the business seriously. So how many, the people who are attending this session, I asked last time, how many people are going to Mauritius? How many? I, for one, Betty and myself are going to Mauritius. I see Georgina is also going to Mauritius. Anne Ambani is going to Mauritius. Anne Gao, Kathy and Salim are going to Mauritius. Patricia, Florence, okay, is going to Mauritius. Jen Anyona. All these people are going to Mauritius. Ed Luca is also going to Mauritius. I'm sure Malik also, Lua Toby from Nigeria is going to Mauritius. Jackie Kyo is going to Mauritius. So all those people who are going to Mauritius, what is the secret of getting to Mauritius? See, more than 30, almost 30 people are going to Mauritius. Lydia Mwesa is going to Mauritius. What is the secret of going to Mauritius? What is it you need to do to go to Mauritius? It's a very simple thing. Sylvia Buibo, Monica Onyango, all going to Mauritius. Very simple thing. Veronica Mwangi is also going to Mauritius. A very simple thing you need to do. Just build 2 more directors. That is it. If you build 2 more directors or 3 more directors in your team, you're going to Mauritius paid for by Neolife. Okay, Connie also is going to Mauritius. Now, so what I wanted to discuss with you is structure. Structure simply means you know how to build a business to make maximum profit from our compensation plan. That is really what the structure is. So if you give me a few minutes, I want to share the screen with you. So from the current slide, how do you get to Mauritius? What are the things you need to do to be able to get to Mauritius? First, you need to master the basics. What are the basics? The basics is retailing products, using products, sponsoring people or recruiting people in the business. Retailing products, 4 things. Number 1, you need to have product knowledge. I think Betty has done an excellent session on products. 2, listening to your customers. Number 3, keeping in touch with your customers. Number 4, getting to know your customers so that you can increase your personal PV. Second one, recruiting. Recruiting simply means sponsoring people in the business. What are the steps? Name lists and prospects. Preparation, that is, learn how to invite correctly. Learn to tell your story and follow up and close. And then do your daily income producing activities. So once you've done that, the next thing is to build your structure. What does that mean? Building structure simply means that you learn how to build other directors. Why do you sponsor somebody in the business? Thank you, Jane. You sponsor somebody in the business to build a director. That is really the reason why you sponsor somebody. Nothing more, nothing less. So learn how to build directors. How do you build directors? You build a structure. What is the first step of building structure? You need to build width. Width simply means the people you sponsor directly under you. And it's important for you to go wide 4 to 6 wide as quickly as possible. Why? Because out of the 4 to 6 people that you sponsor, you're likely to get only 1 or 2 who are serious. You would be lucky if you sponsor 4 to 6 people and get all those people seriously. And then if that happens, then you're in a very exciting challenge, because if you get serious people, these people also want to be directors. But if they grow faster than you're able to build your nursery, you have to wait for you to have your own 4,000 PV in order to take the steps, because these people are also building director businesses. So build width. That width is potential volume. How do you build width? Do the 4 basics: name list, invite by asking the right questions, showing the plan of those interested, and following up to close. Okay, those are the basics of building width. But once you have built width, what do you do to build depth? You build depth by helping these people you have sponsored also to build their own groups. That is called building depth. The goal is to go 12 to 14 levels deep in each leg. How do you do that? Working on the taproot. Draw your structure so that you can actually see your business growing. To build a director leg, let me say you've gone 6 wide. Help each of these 6 people to sponsor 2 each, and those 2 to sponsor another 2. If you do that, you're creating a director volume business. All right, let's look at the next chart. Think about this. This is you are excited, you've just started the business. Go 6 wide as quickly as possible. We said earlier, go to 4 to 6 wide as quickly as possible. The next thing, go 3 levels deep in each of this leg, but that is not the final goal. The long-term goal in each leg is to go for 12 to 14 deep. But initially, each of these 6 legs, you need to go 3 levels deep. For example, you sponsor 1, you help 1 sponsor 2, and you help 2 to sponsor 3. Those are 3 levels deep. By the time you reach 3 levels deep, number 1 should have learned how to do what you are doing. And what do? They also help their people to go 3 deep. That is how you build structure. Building structure simply means you help the people that you've sponsored directly to learn how to do the basics. And what is the basics? Name list, inviting, showing the plan, follow up. Name list, inviting, showing the plan, follow up. That is what the basics you need to teach your immediate people, your immediate front line. But sometimes you will find that some of your front lines actually don't see the vision. They don't see why you're excited. What do? Make sure you sponsored somebody under them that you can work with. Okay? That's very, very important. And the reason that is important is not everybody is serious. The ones who are serious are the ones you need to work with. For example, let me say you sponsor one. One has joined the business, they're initially very excited. The first person tells them no, they feel very bad, they don't want to pick up your phone. You call them to the meeting, they don't respond. You need to get a list from 1 so that you help them sponsor 2. And if, for example, number 1 is not serious, but number 2 is very, very serious, spend your time with number 2. Spend your time teaching number 2 how to write a name. First of all, help number 2 to create a vision, a dream for their business. What do they want to do? What do they want to do in the business? Okay? So number 2, you've helped them sponsor somebody, help them to build a name list, help them to invite, go with them to show the business, help them to follow up until they sponsor somebody, number 3. So you help number 2 to sponsor 2, 3, 4 other people because number 1 is not serious. When number 2 sponsors 3 or 4 or 5 people, then number 1 says, okay, I'm seeing growth in my team, maybe I should be serious. Otherwise, number 2 is going to overtake me. Then number 2 becomes serious. Number 1 also becomes serious, all right? Let's say number 2 is the serious one. You teach them to do the basics. They sponsor 6 people, and they need to help each of the 6 sponsor 2 each, and so that it goes 3 levels deep from number 2. And that means now in your leg, that is 4th to 5th levels. That's how you build depth. Okay? So go wide until you find 3 legs you can work with. And each of those legs, go 12 deep on these 3 legs. It's not easy to work on 6 to 7 legs at the same time. Why? Because you will not have given each of them the sufficient attention they need to grow as leaders. Okay? So that's why when you go 6 wide, the goal is to identify 3 legs to work with. 3 legs to work with so that they become directors. Okay? So if you continue about building structure, remember, you always need to keep sponsoring. Okay? Focus on what duplicates, not what you can do easily. Why is that important? That is important because, let me say you found a way, you're very excited, you're on fire, you can sponsor 30, 40 people per month with no problem. The question you need to ask yourself, how many people in your team can sponsor 30 to 40 people? That's why you need to concentrate on those who, concentrate on the things that can duplicate. In fact, the speed of your business depends on the simplicity. The simpler your business is, the faster it grows. The more tools you use for your business, the faster it grows. So keep sponsoring always, because remember, some people in your team are going to outgrow you. That simply means some of the people you sponsor are going to become directors. And if they do, you cannot use their volume to qualify as a director. You need your separate 4,000 PV to qualify as a director. Okay? That is called the breakaway system. So keep sponsoring people in the business. Develop the right attitude for building the business. And that comes from reading constantly. The one thing I want to recommend to you, of all the things that Betty and I have taught you, or what we have learned over the last few years, the one thing I've come to realize is this: the people who are aware of their thoughts, the people who can actually detect when their mind is shifting to negative frame of mind, are the people who are going to be successful. Because your negative attitude works automatically, but you need to be very alert to notice, okay, now I'm going into the negative territory. I'm beginning to think negatively. I'm beginning to criticize people in my mind. I'm beginning to be upset with someone downlines who are not active. You need to be aware of your thoughts. And the moment you are aware, it's easy to change from positive to from negative to positive. For me, what I have found that helps me really to keep positive, when I have specific goals, I've written in my notebook, at the moment, there are 17 things I want to achieve. Every morning, midday, and evening, I read those things and I put my fingers on them so that I can actually feel the writings. So anytime my mind wants to go to negative, those are the goals I think about. And that helps you to be to have a positive attitude all the time. Awareness of your thinking process, or awareness of your thoughts, not your thinking process, sorry. Awareness of your thoughts. What are the thoughts that go through your mind? That's one. Number two, weed out the negative ones. And number three, instill in your thoughts the goals you want to achieve. And remember, you are going to achieve what is dominant in your thoughts. That is so clear and simple as daylight. Okay? So, sorry. Develop the right attitude. That is, read books good books constantly. Attend presentations and meetings. Keep company with only positive people. And then aim at discipline, not motivation. You see, motivation is temporary. Motivation is like taking a shower. You take it once a day. The next day you take it again. The next day you take a shower. Motivation is not constant. All right? But discipline keeps you on the path to success. Discipline is doing the things you have planned to do irrespective of how you feel. All right? And then do not make me extraordinary to get yourself off the hook. That means I know the people in West Africa are going for their conventions this Saturday on the 21st. The people in East Africa are going for their convention on the 28th. Go for the convention, enjoy yourself, but make a decision. If you're not called on the stage, make a decision that next year you are also going on stage after taking a big step in the business. Okay? So that you don't go to convention just to cheer others. You go to convention because also you also want to be cheered for. All right? Keep your eyes on the future. Don't keep your eyes on what you're going through. Keep your eyes on where you're going to. This is very important because sometimes when you're having challenges, it's very easy for us to develop a complaining attitude. A very simple way to make sure that complaint is, in fact, one of the most difficult things is to avoid complaining. If any of you doubt what I am saying, get a simple glass jar, and every day, if you catch yourself complaining about anything, put one coin in that glass jar. Then this time next week, check how many coins you put in that glass jar. It's a simple thing, but in fact, that simple process will make you alert, and you will realize how often you complain about life. Okay? So keep your eyes on the future. Do not pay attention to what your mind is telling you. You see, our mind does three things. Number one, our mind is designed to keep us safe. All right? Our brain or our mind is designed to keep us safe. That is why when you see something which is not familiar, we tend to shy away from it. Number two, our minds finds the most efficient way to do anything. That is why it tends to automate things so that the thing goes to subconscious mind. Now, our brain takes about 20-25% of our total body's energy. So our mind keeps us safe. Our mind is very efficient in doing things, and our mind tends to take so much of energy. So it tries to conserve all the energy that you have in your body. So don't pay attention when your mind wants to keep you safe, because what your mind is actually doing, if you have a goal, your mind will convince you, okay, it's very inefficient to go after that new goal. Why? Because your new goal is a new thought. And you must reinforce that thought to override the previous thoughts you have had. Okay? And then develop an accountability mirror. Every day, go to the mirror and say, okay, Pascal, what have you done today? Have you spoken to 5 people or 6 people that you have planned? Did you speak to customers? Did you speak to your downlines? Did you advise any of your team members? How many new names have you collected today? Go to the mirror and have yourself accountable to yourself, okay? And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is friendship. You know, friendship is a very unique thing. He who finds a friend finds a treasure. There's nothing that can compare with a good friend. Okay? So you need to learn how to, in fact, the best way to have a good friend is ask yourself, would you like to have a friend like yourself? Okay? And some of the elements I'd like to talk to you about is truth in what we say is sincerity. Truth in what we think is a clear conscience. Truth in what we do is called loyalty. All right? Action is the antidote to despair. When you feel depressed, when you feel really low, one of the quickest antidotes to get out of that frame of mind, get into action. Do something physical. So action is the antidote to despair. Action is a prescription for success. If you want to succeed, make sure you take action every day towards your goal. Loyalty to your goals, loyalty to your family, loyalty to your team, loyalty to your life. If you have these things, you're creating a foundation for good friendship in your team. Now, 3 things that are important for friendship. Very important. And if you have these 3 things, you're going to build very solid friends throughout your life. Okay? Number one, common concern. Okay, common concern simply means, are you concerned about the same thing? This creates a desire for friendship. Because if you're friends with somebody, you need to have something you have in common. The second aspect of friendship is mutual interest. Mutual interest is this is how friendship is lived out. Mutual interest, for example, you're both interested in sports, you're both interested in new life products, you're both interested in travel, you're both interested in similar things, mutual interest. And this is the way friendship is lived out. There has to be a way you live out your friendship. You need to have something in common. And the last one is integrity. Sorry, virtue. Virtue is integrity of the virtue is simply a good habit. And this gives us the capacity and the strength to maintain friendship. Because one of the tests of friendship is when there are challenges. You will know who is your friend when you're going through a difficult time. Okay? So virtue gives us the capacity and the capability to maintain friendship. That is what really friendship is about. All right? It is the inner goodness that appeals to people. You see, there are some people who, because of the nature of their soul, they're kind, they're disciplined, they're open, they listen. People gravitate towards them very easily. The question is, are you that kind of person? Virtue is the inner goodness that appeals to people. Because, you know, people can sense the kind of person you are, even without you talking. So think about cultivating the virtues in your life. Virtues are simply good habits, and you need to develop to have good friends. And the core, in fact, I was reading long time, one of the articles that Hansi sent us when you are new to the business is a document called Structure for Diamond. There are three things: the basics, building structure, friendship. Basics, building structure, friendship. Build friendships, you're going to build diamondship. If you have those simple things going for you, your business will grow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending this evening with Betty and myself. The distributors in West Africa, we wish you every success in your convention. And I'm sure if you are attending this meeting, make sure you go to the convention with both guests and distributors in your team, at least 10 people, because it expands people's horizon when you go for a convention. The people who are going to Dar es Salaam, people in Tanzania, in Uganda, and Kenya who are traveling from the various regions, go and enjoy yourself and let the convention helps you to have the right mindsets to succeed. You know, over the last week, I went to a bookshop. I used bookstore. I like going to used bookstores. I found very, very, very fascinating and very nice books. The one I found 2 days ago is this book. It's called 21 Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy. It cost me 25 Rand. 25 Rand in Kenya shillings is about 200 shillings. But the message in the book is powerful. It's a book, I bought it last week and I'm reading it for the third time because it's got very simple ideas, very precise. It helps me keep my goals within my thought process. And that's how you become successful. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for spending this evening with us. Betty and I do not take for granted your attendance to these meetings. And we hope that some of the ideas we have shared with you is going to help you grow your business. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.